Yeah, good morning, viewers. Welcome to our video class. So, yesterday or in the previous video, we had very good discussion regarding noun. What is meant by noun? The kinds of nouns. In the first part, we had the benefit of knowing kinds of nouns, proper nouns, common nouns, concrete nouns, abstract nouns. We really got a very good picture about these nouns. So with that discussion, you might have understood very well what is the importance of noun in our communication, in our presentations, in our speaking, in our day-to-day life. Once you get thorough with your ideas about noun, we can easily understand. And before going very deep into that one, I take the privilege of introducing myself once again. This is P. Krishnamurthy, lecturer in English, working at Government Degree College for Women, Wanaparthy. I wholeheartedly invite you all for the nouns second part. In the second part, so before we go into the second part, let us have a brief glance at the completed items. Proper nouns that we completed, common nouns we completed, concrete nouns we completed, abstract nouns we completed. So the confusion was cleared, and now we are going into the later part of nouns. The later part of nouns are material nouns, collective nouns, compound nouns, countable nouns, uncountable nouns. Today we are going to discuss in detail which are called material nouns and which are called collective nouns. So which nouns are named compound nouns, which nouns can be countable, can be counted, which nouns cannot be counted. Those things that we are going to talk in a detailed fashion, and I think you are going to derive a lot of pleasure in knowing grammar, because knowing about grammar, learning grammar, and learning in a logical manner, really it gives a lot of contentment after the completion of any chapter in grammar. So generally, people who attend all grammar classes, people who take any grammar books, they just go on in a very pedantic manner, in a very old-fashioned way. They read and just by heart certain items. What is meant by proper noun? What is meant by common noun? What is meant by concrete noun? What is meant by compound? And so on and so forth. So people just get by heart all those definitions, but they don't know the real mechanism of the nouns in our communication. Once you know the mechanism, how they are going to be applied in our communication, how they are going to be used in our day-to-day sentences, in our day-to-day writings, then only you derive the pleasure of the beauty of grammar. Every individual will enjoy the beauty of the grammar only when he or she analyzes and applies those items in our day-to-day communication, and that is the beauty of grammar also. Okay, we'll go into material nouns. What do you understand by material nouns? It looks very strange also. Material nouns refer to metals. It's a very open. When you listen to that word itself, when you listen to that phrase, material nouns are the nouns that tell about metals. What are the metals in general? We have gold, silver, iron, copper, bronze, diamond. So all these things are metals. But material nouns are not going to be limited, are not going to be confined only with the metals only. The second point that we have to learn about those things. The material nouns, they also tell about the things that are made, such as silver, gold, iron, plastic, cotton, sulfur, diamond, aluminum, calcium, coal, copper, bronze, flour, marble, leather, silk. So material nouns, they tell not only about metals, but they tell about substances. Substances that, so one has to understand this one. What are the substances? What are the substances that, so what do you understand by substance? Substance that includes chemicals, that includes leather, that includes silk, that includes aluminum, that includes coal, that includes sulfur. People may say that, so sulfur is not a metal, but it's a substance. It's a substance. It's a chemical. So whenever you want to mention about chemicals, whenever you want to mention about these substances, you should feel that you are mentioning material nouns. So these are the very important things, So in competitive examinations, especially, or in academic university examinations, in academic examinations, the questions are framed on fundamentals only. But in competitive examinations, the questions are so framed typically. So if a question is framed on material noun, so what type of noun is sulfur? So A, B, C, D answers will be given, multiple choice of question. So multiple answers are given under that one. One, proper noun, abstract noun, material noun, collective noun. Then we get a lot of confusion also. Never in our classes, I think, no one has taught about this. So sulfur, never we came across the word sulfur in our grammar class. You may get confusion also. Then you think that it might be so collective noun, or it might be some other noun, maybe a countable noun or uncountable noun. You may think that, or if any answer is there, like none of the above or none of the answers, then naturally a candidate who is appearing for competitive examinations, he just, he or she chooses to that none of the answers. In that way, we commit mistakes. That is the thing that we have to understand. So these are the examples of material nouns that everyone. It's very simple. Also, you just keep in your mind. So metals and substances are called material nouns, just like proper nouns. All names, specific names, are called proper nouns, just like concrete nouns. So nouns which have got physical form, they are called concrete nouns, just like abstract nouns. Nouns which tell about emotions, feelings, expressions, they are called so abstract nouns. When you think about these common nouns, very common names only, like book, table, ground, they're all common nouns. In the same way, one has to remember in a very, very so easy fashion manner. Material nouns are those nouns that tell about, that give the names of so metals and substances. Some examples that you have to write down. So here examples are given for you, and based on that examples also you can just move the next one. So I hope everyone has understood about material nouns. Shall we move on to this one, collective nouns? And what are collective nouns? Again, this is another complex item for us, for all of us, that we get confused very oftenly. Collective nouns. What do you understand by collective noun? Collective noun is, so collective noun refers to a group of people. Collective noun refers to group of animals. Collective noun refers to group of things. Collective noun refers to group of objects. Groups are there. The entire group is just, that entire cluster is treated as one unit, and that unit is called collective noun. In that unit, there might be two, there might be three, there might be four, there might be some n number of members might be there, n number of so things might be there, n number of animals are there, n number of birds are there, n number of so objects are there. So irrespective of the number in that, so you are going to take only the cluster, you are going to take that group, you are going to say that, so only crowd of people, you say that. For example, you say crowd of people. People means two or more than two. So the number is plural. The number is in plural. But you see, you are not carried away by that so number. You have to understand that group, the crowd of people. That crowd consists of more than two members. For example, so a bunch of keys. There might be two, three, four, five keys are there to that bunch. But the number of keys, that's not important. So the bunch is important. The bunch consists of lot of keys. So many items are there, but all the items clubbed together and coming to as one cluster, and that is said to be a collective noun. Group of people, group of animals, and group of things. Collective noun is treated as a single unit. For example, army. So in general, we say that army is moving to Telangana state to regulate COVID, so to regulate the expansion of COVID in our pockets of our Telangana state. Oh, army is coming. Family is good, but in family you find three, four, five, six, or a number of members are there. But as a whole, the entire unit is treated as single or fleet of ships. So there may be number of ships are there, but you see fleet, flock of birds, flock of birds, flock. So that is single unit flock. Flock means it has got a lot of birds, bunch of keys as I told you already. Team of players. Yeah, Indian team is coming. So after the completion of all the games, so in abroad, the team is arriving today. So to India. What do you understand by team? So team means team of players. So it is not restricted to only one member. It is going to be two, three, four, five, six members. All these n number of people are being clubbed together and is being formed as separate noun. That is called a single unit. As you say that, that's called collective noun. And that is the thing that everyone has to understand. When you are referring about the collective noun, so you think that it is not only one person that you are referring more than two, three, four, five members, or five objects, five things, five animals, five birds, or more than that one also. And that is going to be said in collective noun, but not in two, three, four, five, like in only collective way that you just refer. And we'll know some more examples about this one. Pack of wolves. Some more examples here, examples of collective nouns. Pack of wolves. Pack of wolves. Here only all wolves put together. So put together kept as a group, that is called pack of wolves. Here pack is, so that's very important. That is the collective so noun. So bouquet of flowers. Bouquet of flowers. In a bouquet, you find a good number of flowers. You are not going to count one, two, three, four. Maybe a number of flowers are there in that bouquet. Maybe two, three, four, five, whatever it could be. And you are not going to see that one. You see that bouquet of flowers. Come on, my dear friend. Someone so invite the chief guest with a bouquet of flowers. It doesn't mean that you just invite that friend with only one flower. When you mention that bouquet of flowers, no, you are going to invite that so chief guest to the seminar, and bouquet of flowers means a lot of flowers are there in that bouquet. So bouquet is considered to be one unit, that's called single unit. Crew of sailors, band of robbers, the entire, so that coinage is given for that one. Coinage of word, that's given for robbers. You say that robbers. How many robbers are there? Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, or Alibaba. So 40. So thieves are there, robbers are there. But you say the band of Alibaba robbers. Band of robbers. So that is, so a group. A group is taken into account here. It is not individual that is being counted here. It is the group that is counted. In that group, so there may be number of things are there. Galaxy of stars. See, galaxy of stars. There may be n number of infinite so stars are there. So in the sky. So galaxy of stars. So that galaxy that is going to be taken into account. So galaxy, the word can be used only for stars. Herd of cattle. I have seen a herd of cattle on my way to Hyderabad. A herd of cattle. So herd means a group. Herd means a group that is referred to. So cattle. Maybe two cattle, three cattle, or lot of cattle. So might be there in that group, and that group is said to be herd of cattle. We'll think about. So we'll know. We'll do an exercise here. Exercise on collective nouns. Fill in the blanks with the collective nouns. Just study this one. Fill in the blanks below with the collective nouns. A dash of singers. A dash of singers. You see this one? A dash of people and dash of soldiers. So let me say this one. When this kind of dashes are given before these nouns, when you are asked to prepare them into, when you are asked to convert them into collective nouns, so how do you do this one? That's called a choir of singers. A choir of singers. Choir is group of singers. Choir means a word that choir consists of singers. The word choir, so which includes singers. A separate word is coined for that one. The choir is arriving shortly to give the performance on the stage. The choir means here, so it is not one person that we have to understand. The members in that group that they are coming here. So the choir is arriving shortly to give the performance very well on the platform. Now, a crowd of people. Crowd of people. So when Julius Caesar was brutally murdered, so when Mark Antony was approaching, so you see now when Brutus was making a speech there on the platform, when he was so so converting their minds with his oratorship, slowly Mark Antony enters the ground. Immediately all the people got up and just they were saying and they were speaking about him. There comes Mark Antony. So what do you see? A crowd of people. A crowd of people. Crowd means it's not one, two, three, four. A lot of people might be there in that crowd. That's why a crowd of people is the right one. That's called collective noun. Next, an army of soldiers. An army of soldiers. Army of soldiers. Whenever you want to say soldier is coming, soldier is participating, soldiers are participating. You can say like that. But when you want to say the group, when you want to refer the group of soldiers, then you have to say that army of soldiers. When you want to refer to the group of soldiers, so the right way is saying the army of soldiers. Next, when you want to refer thieves, group of thieves, you have to say that so gang of thieves or band of thieves. That you have to say. Band of gang of thieves. So you refer gang means group. So whenever you want to mention thieves, so gang of thieves. So gang of thieves. Next coming to fifth one. So team of players. As I told you already, players. The team is arriving shortly to our Mumbai airport. The team, so the Indian cricket team is arriving. So team is the concrete, is a group, is a word that tells about the group. So the team is a suitable word to say the group of players. That's called a team of players. A bunch of keys, a bunch of keys, a bowl of rice, a bowl of rice. Next, a fleet of ships, a fleet of ships. Whenever you want to mention about uh, number of ships, a fleet of ships, a flock of birds, a flock of birds, a swarm of bees, a shoal of fish. Next, a troop of dancers, a troop of dancers. So a panel of experts. Whenever any selection is taken place for the post of assistant professor in the degree college, panel of experts. A panel of experts is arriving shortly. They are going to test you. So that panel is going to test your knowledge, whether you possess that particular knowledge in that subject or not. Next, a basket of fruits. A basket of fruits. A basket of fruits. Or so board of directors. Board of directors. 15th. Board of directors. And chest of drawers. Pride of lions. Pride of lions, like that, the list goes on. So once you are very much interested to know more about these collective nouns, once you can just go into YouTube and just search. When you search in Google, you may find hundreds of collective nouns, and hundreds of collective nouns that you find in Google. You can write down. Just you, when you go to market, when you go to any bookshop, you just buy certain grammar books. There you find very common collective nouns. These are the common collective nouns that you find in most of the books only. But so these are the very important collective nouns that I am able to provide to you. And once you get thorough with all these things, I think it is very easy to understand what's meant by collective noun. So shall we move on to this next item of our uh, topic? So collective nouns are completed. Next, what is the next thing? Compound nouns. What do you understand by compound noun? This is another thing. In most of the grammar books, you don't find this compound noun. You just see that only proper nouns, common nouns, abstract nouns, concrete nouns, material nouns, and so maybe these collective nouns, countable nouns, and uncountable nouns only. What do you understand by compound noun? What? So how do we so prepare this compound noun? Compound noun is formed by the combination of two or more words. As such, it is not a noun by itself, but this compound noun is created one. You can create a compound noun. So with the help of two or more words. For example, you see bedroom. Bed is a different word. Room is a different word. Bed is a common noun. Room is a common noun. These two words are different words. But when you club these two words and it becomes a common phrase and it becomes a common word, that's called bedroom. You have a room, you have a bed. When you want to refer about a room where people sleep, and that's called bedroom. Two different words clubbing together and forming into a separate word, and that's called compound noun. So two things are clubbed, two words are clubbed, and new word is created, and that is called compound noun. But both are different words, independent. Both are independent words. Bed has got its own meaning. Bed has got its own spelling, and so room has got its own meaning, its own spelling. But when they are combined together, and it's going to be formed as a new noun, and that noun is said to be compound noun. Next, school bus. School is a separate noun. Bus is a separate noun. School is a common noun. Bus is a common noun. Both are different words, different with a different spelling, different meaning. When they are combined, and that is going to be formed as a compound noun. Is that clear for you? It's very easy to understand how the compound nouns are formed. The compound nouns are formed by the combination of two or more words. Mother-in-law. So mother-in-law. In-law is a separate word. So in-law, two words are there, and mother. So three words are forming into a separate word, mother-in-law. Mother is separate, in-law is separate. And it is going to be formed as a different word, and it becomes a collective or compound noun. And this is a very wonderful thing. How can you prepare compound? How can you prepare compound nouns? So preparation and preparing compound nouns. So making compound nouns. As I say that a compound noun is formed by combination of two or more words. For example, mother-in-law, as I told you, school bus, bedroom. Compound nouns can be made up of various. Compound nouns can be, let's see this. Compound nouns can be made up of four types of combinations. You can prepare compound nouns with the combination. Four methods are there for the preparation of compound nouns. How can you prepare compound nouns? There are four methods. In four ways, you can prepare compound nouns. The first method, let me talk to you about the first method. Noun plus noun is called compound noun. You see this one? So noun plus noun, compound noun. School is just noun. Bus is a noun. So how is it going to be combined? It's combined and it's called compound noun. School bus. School is a noun. Bus is a noun. Noun plus noun becomes compound noun. Police. Police is a noun. Station is a noun. Police station. It's a compound noun. Seminar. Seminar. Seminar is a noun. Hall is a noun. It becomes seminar hall. It becomes seminar hall. Carbon plus paper. Carbon paper. Staff plus room, staff room. Class plus room, classroom. Conference plus hall, conference hall. Lecture plus hall, lecture hall. Sports plus room, sports room. So tea plus stall, tea stall. So mending place shop, medical place shop, medical shop. Text plus book, textbook. So kitchen plus room, kitchen room. All these are all the examples of the first method of making compound noun. So noun plus noun is called compound noun. This is the first method that we can prepare a compound noun with the help of two nouns. Noun plus noun. The second method that I would like to say to you. A compound noun may be created or may be prepared with the help of adjective and noun. Adjective plus noun. Just like black. Black, the word black is an adjective, board is a noun. Black plus board. So adjective plus noun becomes compound noun. Black plus board becomes blackboard, compound noun. Cool plus water is equal to cool water. Cool is an adjective, water is a noun, and cool it becomes compound noun when you combine two words. So in the first method we are combining noun plus noun. In the second method we are not combining noun plus noun. In the second method, so the principle is something different. Adjective plus noun. So cool water. How is the water? Cool water. Cool water is separate compound noun. Long book. Long is an adjective, book is a noun, long book. So famous leader. Famous is an adjective, leader is a noun. So famous plus leader, it becomes famous leader. So this is the second method. So everyone has to keep in the mind. So in most of the books I could say that the compound nouns are mentioned. Compound nouns are not mentioned, and that's the reason whenever in the examination like academic examinations or competitive examinations, this type of questions are asked, we get confused also the moment you happen to see. So blackboard, is it a noun? Yeah, it's a noun. We say that it's a noun. What type of noun is it? Proper noun, common noun, collective noun, and so compound noun. Then people say that it's a collective noun. People say that it's a proper noun. People say that it's an abstract noun. And people say like that only. But those people who have got logical understanding about compound noun, they could definitely give the right answer in the examination. So the second method here, adjective plus noun is called compound noun. First method, noun plus noun is called compound noun. Now third method, verb plus noun. Verb plus noun. Verb plus noun is called compound noun. Swimming plus pool. Swimming pool. Swimming plus pool. Swimming pool. Dancing plus doll. Dancing doll. So play plus ground. Playground. Waiting plus hall. Waiting hall. Playground. Waiting hall. Like that. Swimming pool. Swimming is a verb. So plus pool. Swimming pool. Dancing doll. And play. Play, what is called playground, waiting hall, like that, maybe like that. These are the examples for verb plus noun. Next, coming to fourth method, noun plus verb. Noun plus verb. So noun plus verb, what is given? Hair is a noun. Verb, cut. Verb, cut. You see this one? Hair cut. Noun plus verb. So haircut. Noun plus verb is becomes compound noun. Hair plus cut. Haircut. Hair is noun. Cut is verb. It becomes compound noun. So like haircut. Nail plus paint. Nail paint. So noun plus verb is called compound noun. So sun plus rise. Sunrise. Rain plus fall. Rainfall. Hair plus fall. Hair fall. They are like that, wall plus, so writing, wall writing. So like that, wheel moving, spoon feeding. Spoon is a noun plus feeding, spoon feeding. So wall plus mending, wall mending. So there are the four ways of uh, preparing the compound nouns. This is very important. So let us revise the compound nouns. The compound nouns are those nouns which are created, which are prepared with a combination of two or more words. The very first fundamental idea. Just like staff room, just like classroom, just like textbook, like that. So what are the methods? What are the ways to prepare compound nouns? There are four methods. Noun plus noun is called compound noun. So adjective plus noun is called compound noun. And again, so verb plus noun is called compound noun. Noun plus verb is called compound noun. In that way, we can prepare compound nouns. Okay, we'll just move on to the next one. And here, so the countable nouns. Now coming to the next one, countable nouns. What are the countable nouns? Countable noun refers to something or someone that can be counted. Any noun that can be counted, uh, that is called countable noun. It's very clear in the title itself. Countable nouns are those nouns which can be counted. So a person, a thing or a person that can be counted is called countable noun. So for example, here countable nouns have singulars and plurals. Countable nouns have singular forms and plural forms. For example, room, rooms. Student, students. Class, classes. Vehicle, vehicles. So nouns that can be countable, that can be counted. Person, so they are persons who are going to be counted, and those, they are called countable nouns. So it's very clear. Countable noun refers to something or someone that can be counted. Countable nouns have singular forms and plural forms. So here is clear example. Example is given. You try to understand this one. A brother. It's a singular one. Brother means one. You can count. Brothers you can count. Countable nouns. So singular forms are there. So plural forms are there. Brother, brothers. Sister, sisters. Table, tables. City, cities. State, states. Mouse, mice. Woman, women. student, students. So chair, chairs, system, systems, ground, grounds, hand, hands, human being, human beings, like that. Uncle, uncles, like that, book, books. So it's very clear from this idea and from this example that you come to know which are called countable nouns. Countable nouns are those nouns that can be counted, and the countable nouns have got singular forms and plural forms. That you have to know very well. So after this countable nouns, let's move on to the next item of the kinds of nouns. The last one, uncountable nouns. The previous thing that we understand, that's all about countable nouns. Now, uncountable nouns. What are these uncountable nouns? Will there be nouns which cannot be counted? Yeah, there are some nouns which cannot be counted. There are nouns which can be counted. They are called countable nouns. There are nouns which cannot be counted. They are called uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns refer to concepts, subst- concepts, substances, liquids, powders, gases, ideas. So qualities or objects that are too small to be counted, and etc. There are some objects are there that you can't count. They are very small. For example, you take sand. So you can't count that sand. Oil. Can you count that oil? You cannot count. They are called uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns are those. So they are not so ready to be counted. They cannot be counted. Just as in the case of countable nouns, you can say that person, persons, student, students, member, members, politician, politicians. But here, in the case of uncountable nouns, only substances, liquids, gases, ideas, and so these concepts, ideas are there. That's the reason we cannot count them. So uncountable nouns cannot be counted because they cannot be divided into separate individual elements. They cannot be divided. What you may question me, sir? Why don't we so divide these people, divide these uncountable nouns? They cannot be counted. So uncountable nouns cannot be counted because they cannot be divided into separate individual elements. Since they cannot be divided into separate individual elements and they cannot be counted. It's very clear from the definition. If there is any provision of so division, if there is any provision of dividing these elements into individual elements, we can easily convert them into countable nouns. But so these uncountable nouns cannot be counted because they cannot be divided into so separate individual elements. For examples, water. You can't divide it. You can't divide it. The area, the water that is so that particular area that you can say that so Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, you just say this is the area and this area is called Pacific Ocean. You can say like that. Water. Can you say that water, waters? No. Milk, milks? No. So bread, like that. Oil, juice, sugar, information, furniture. All these are all uncountable nouns. However, so my dear friends, however, is there any way to count these uncountable nouns? Is there any so method to count these uncountable nouns? Yes, there is a method. However, uncountable nouns can be quantified or counted with the addition of countable nouns. When uncountable noun is there, when you add countable noun before that, it becomes a countable noun. For example, water. Water is an uncountable noun. You cannot count it, but you want to so count it. Is there any method like that? You can just count. You can convert that uncountable noun so into countable noun by adding countable noun before that uncountable noun. For example, like that, water. You can just water is uncountable noun. You can convert that one into countable noun a glass of water. Milk, it's an uncountable noun. You can change that one into countable noun by adding 1 liter of milk. Bread, so you can convert that one into countable noun. That's called 2 loaves of bread. Oil, I could say that 3 bottles of oil. This is very easy. This is the way how you can count even uncountable nouns by adding countable nouns before that uncountable nouns. This is the method. So let's see this one. It's a wonderful table that is given here. Converting uncountable nouns into countables. Converting uncountable nouns into countable. Luggage. This is uncountable noun. Can you convert this one into countable? We can convert by adding countable noun before that. A bundle of luggage. A bundle of luggage or a sack of luggage. Furniture. A score of furniture, a piece of furniture. Juice. A glass of juice, a bottle of juice. Paper. A piece of paper, a roll of paper. Glue. A bottle of glue, a tube of glue. Butter. A cage of butter, a tablespoon of butter. Coffee. A cup of coffee, a kettle of coffee. Sugar. A handful of sugar, a spoonful of sugar. Money. A pocket full of money, bag full of money. Information. A piece of information, a source of information. This is the way how you can convert the uncountable nouns into countable nouns. The table gives a clear picture how the uncountable nouns may be converted into countable nouns. This is the way that we can understand very clearly about these things. And dear friends, with that, I would like to revise part 1 and part 2. In part 1, we know very clearly about what is meant by noun, what are the kinds of nouns. Very primary nouns that we understood in the part 1, that's called proper nouns and common nouns, abstract nouns, and concrete nouns. In the part B, we understood very well about the material nouns, about what is called collective nouns and compound nouns, how compound nouns are prepared, and about countable nouns and about uncountable nouns. I feel very happy and that I have given excellent information to all of you. And I feel very happy that I have given sufficient information regarding the noun chapter. And the later part is rested with you. The explanation part is completed by me and is left to you, my dear students. You have to go through every principle and every explanation, every description about each and every noun that has been dealt, and you go through that one. Whenever you go through that one, you try to apply analysis. You try to apply logical way of understanding. You try to apply the understanding power. Don't go by their definitions. Don't read as they are. Read anything and understand how best to consume, how best to understand that one, how best you are going to use this material noun, compound noun, collective noun, abstract noun, proper noun, common noun, collective noun, maybe compound noun, countable noun, uncountable noun, how best you are making use of that one in our communication. In that way only, the grammar part is going to be useful. When you know about it, when you keep this one in a very static manner, I think maybe in due course of time that you forget everything and just you come to the zero. And you after 6 months, you feel that you have not gained anything as far as noun chapter is concerned. That's the reason I just say to you, whatever you learned about nouns in part 1 and in part 2, that you have to revise, keep on revising, keep on analyzing, keep on apply applying those items in your communication, and in that way you can better your communication, you can improve your knowledge in English. And for that I wish you all the best. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Okay, bye bye, thank you very much.